Nobody's talking about the no-holds-barred truth about being a mom and a freelance copywriter, and it's about time. Let's reveal the facts you'll only get from someone who's been there and done that, so you can start thriving as a freelance copywriting mom instead of staying in white-knuckle survival mode. Let's talk about 5 things no one tells you about being a freelance copywriting mom. So it takes you about 2 seconds on Google or YouTube to do a quick search and find all kinds of content about freelance copywriting and building a business. The same goes for content about motherhood and raising kids. But who's talking about what it's like to build a business as a freelance copywriter while being a mom too? Me, that's who. Hi, I'm Christa Nichols, and I'm a high-ticket sales copywriter and mentor for freelance copywriting mamas who want to grow a business without sacrificing their families or their freedom. In this video, you're going to get the must-know facts about motherhood and freelance copywriting so you can have a more fulfilling and less bumpy and pothole-filled ride as you build your business as a mom. This YouTube channel is full of actionable and proven hacks, tips, and strategies for freelance copywriting mamas just like you. Make sure you subscribe and smash that bell so you get notified when my videos go live. You're a busy mama, so let's just dive right in. The first thing no one tells you about being a freelance copywriting mama is that there's 2 sides to being your own boss. If you're anything like me, part of the reason you want to be a freelance copywriter is because you want the freedom of being your own boss. No one telling you when you have to work, how much you get to make, or what you have to do all day. You can work from anywhere you want, and you don't have to leave your kids at daycare 8 hours a day. Earning potential is all in your own hands, and you get to set your own schedule and choose the clients you want to work with. Now, don't get me wrong, I love being my own boss. I'm actually convinced I am pretty much unemployable by now and far too independent to ever work for someone else ever again. It's a totally beautiful thing, and a sense of accomplishment and pride you get seeing yourself rise to the occasion and do bigger things than you ever dreamed possible is amazing. But there's another side to being your own boss that nobody talks about. The good news, as a mom, is that you've totally got an edge when it comes to handling it. So what's the dark side of being your own boss? You're not only in charge of everything, you're also the one responsible for everything. As the leader of your business, you have to take responsibility of your business, and that means owning the good and the bad. No one's perfect. Mistakes are going to happen and challenges are going to pop up. You're going to have to carry the mantle of leadership and show up for your business even when things are tough. There's no boss to pass the buck to, no sales team to send leads your way, no tech support to fix things, at least not in the beginning. You're the boss now, but you've totally got this, and I can prove it to you. When you had kids, they didn't come with a manual, right? As their parent, you were suddenly responsible for everything when it came to caring for them. Eating, sleeping, safety, clothing, entertainment, you name it. It all started and ended with you. And you did it. You learned and discovered ways to make things work, to care for their needs, big and small, and most importantly, you unconditionally love them and are committed to their success as humans. And today, your small humans are alive and thriving because of you. You did that. Now, if you can keep small humans alive and do all the things that being a mom entails, you can totally be the leader of your business. Seriously, you've got this in the bag and you're not alone. The second thing no one tells you about is so important. Understanding this is absolutely going to change the way you approach being a freelance copywriting mom in a good way. Balance is a lie. Let me say that again for the moms in the back who are multitasking and missed it the first time. Balance is a lie, but it's going to be okay. So before I had my first kid, I thought I was going to be such a balanced new mom. I remember thinking things like, I'll still take time for myself. I'll just make it happen. It'll be no big deal. It can't be that hard. I'm not going to be one of those moms who suddenly puts their whole lives around their baby. But the minute my daughter was born, all of that went out the window. Nearly every moment of every day was devoted to caring for her. Now, don't get me wrong, I had plenty of help, and that's so important. But the point is, I wanted to go all in. I love my kids, and there was nowhere else I'd rather be than taking care of them and being their mom. When they were infants and toddlers, it definitely wasn't balanced, not in the way I'd naively thought it would be. And that was okay. In fact, it was the way it needed to be right then. As they got older and I got more comfortable caring for them and letting other people step in to help, because let's be real, sometimes that's hard too, things were more balanced again. Building a freelance copywriting business while being a mom isn't going to look 100% balanced day to day either. Sometimes you'll have deadlines and you'll need to go hard on projects. Other time, your kids will be main focus and you'll need to put your business a little lower on the priority list for a time. And it's okay. Don't beat yourself up if things aren't equal in your business and your personal life. Perfect balance is a lie, and you shouldn't hold yourself or your business to that unrealistic standard. That doesn't mean you have to neglect your family for your business or your business for your family, though. You got into this so you could be there for your family more, not less, right? So how do you do it? If balance is a lie, how do you keep from falling headfirst into burnout mode? You make time management your new best friend. So you may not be able to achieve perfect balance, but you can manage your time well so that you're giving and showing up where you're needed most consistently. I recommend blocking out some time each day to work on your business, even if it's just an hour while the kids are napping. This helps you stay in momentum and keep growing. Think about when you're the most productive. Maybe you're an early riser and giving certain things the priority before the kids wake up will work best for you. Maybe you're a night owl and you find yourself happily burning the midnight oil. Whatever works best for you, do it. Once you've figured out what part of the day works best for you to get work done, you can also manage your time by prioritizing the most important things first. In the very beginning, I recommend prioritizing the income-generating activities above everything while you build your revenue runway out. That means making sure you're taking time every day to show up and give value on social media, following up with leads, and creating content talking about who you are, what you do, who you serve, and how you get them results. Remember, your day-to-day life and schedule doesn't have to look like anyone else's. Can you promise me one thing? This is so important. Don't compare your life to anyone else. My kids are in high school and college now. I have a lot more time to devote to my business than I used to. Don't compare yourself to me if you have young kids at home. This is part of what's so great about having a freelance copywriting business. It doesn't have to look a certain way. It's all about figuring out what works for you and your family and doing that. Let's move on to number 3. The third thing no one tells you about being a freelance copywriting mom is you don't need as much stuff as you think you do to get started. So there's a long list of things that different gurus and experts say freelance copywriters need before they can get started landing clients. In fact, some of the biggest programs out there have full units on creating a website and setting up your LLC. It can get pretty overwhelming when you start thinking that you have to have an office space and a brand new logo and a whole new wardrobe and a bunch of expensive software and equipment before you can even get started. Well, guess what? It's all baloney. There's actually a very short list of things you have to have in order to get started. And a professional website, fancy office, a bunch of expensive software subscriptions don't even make the list. Here's the truth. If you wait until you have everything everyone says you need to start a freelance copywriting business, then you'll never start. And that's just not okay. I don't want you stuck when you could be gaining momentum, landing clients, and getting paid. So let's talk about setting things up MVP style, minimum viable process. Now, if you're still stuck on the website thing, I have a more detailed video on whether or not you need a website to start landing copy clients. If you want to catch up on that video, the link is in the description below. So check it out and learn more about the website topic specifically. But for now, let's talk about what minimum viable process means and what it looks like for freelance copywriting mamas. Minimum viable process is a term I use to refer to the baseline of what you need to get started. For freelance copywriting mamas, it's very simple. Number 1, you need a computer or a device, somewhere to do the work on. Number 2, you need a Wi-Fi connection, something to communicate with clients and send and receive information. Number 3, you need a social media profile so you can start posting about what you do and who you serve. And number 4, you need some examples of your work or a portfolio. That's literally it. I didn't have a business or marketing degree when I started. I still don't. I didn't have a big girl website until 2 years in. Yet here I am generating multiple 6 figures a year inside my sales copywriting business. Don't let what you don't have stop you from doing what you want. Use the MVP process instead, then add things in as you can afford them. There's a time and a place for everything. And when you're just getting started, starting with the MVP process and save yourself money until your business is generating income. You're going to love this next one. It's definitely my favorite thing no one told me about, and it makes perfect sense. The fourth thing no one tells you about being a freelance copywriting mom is that moms are pretty much hardwired for freelance copywriting. It's especially true for sales conversion copywriting, and I can prove it to you. Remember when your kids were little and you wanted them to do something and they fought you on it? Well, when my kids were 2 and 4, they didn't want to eat peas. You think out of all the green vegetables, peas would be the most fun. They're small, they're round, they roll around on the plate. They don't have a super strong taste. But for some reason, my kids did not want to eat them. As their mom, however, I knew that getting them to eat their vegetables was for their own benefit. So I had to find a way to make peas cool again. I discovered that if I did not call them peas, if I called them something else that sounded more fun, they actually wanted to eat them. And that's how my kids ended up thinking that peas were called green balls for a good portion of their childhood. Now that's a cute story, but think about it. You sell your kids on different ideas all day long, every day. You do it to keep them safe. You do it to keep them healthy. You do it to keep them happy and make their lives better. When you're a freelance copywriting mom, you're just applying this superpower skill to your clients' target audiences. If you can convince your kid it's in their best interest to put their seatbelt on, take their shoes off before they come in the house, and save TV time for after the homework is done, you're already ready to convince consumers to buy your clients' products and services. So when you start doubting yourself and you wonder, especially in the beginning, why anyone would want to hire you and whether or not you know what you're doing, just remember you're practically hardwired for this, okay? When it comes to things no one tells you about being a freelance copywriting mom, this last one just might be the most important one of all. Your mindset is your biggest strength and your biggest weakness. If there's anything that will keep you from succeeding above all else, it's your mindset. If your mindset isn't aligned with your goals and the desires you have for your business, you'll get stuck in a cycle of self-sabotage over and over and over again. And the reason for that is this. Your business can only grow to the level that your mindset can support it. So if you're struggling with false beliefs and doubts and fears, it can cripple you and sink your business. You can be an extremely talented freelance copywriter who gets results for clients and has all kinds of social proof behind them and fancy equipment and a professional website. Yet if your mindset is in the gutter, you can still fail. On the other hand, you can be a brand new freelance copywriting mama who works from her dining room table and doesn't have a fancy marketing or writing degree, and you can still succeed if you have the right mindset. It's that important. Now, don't misunderstand me right now. I'm not being critical or trying to put down someone who's in the middle of imposter syndrome right now. The truth is, all freelance copywriting mamas will come face to face with mindset issues at some point, including me. You might think that I might have some kind of titanium brain with an unshakable belief in myself, but that's simply not true. I have to be aware and work on my mindset all the time, or I will self-sabotage every day. So this is something that all freelance copywriting mamas have to deal with. What can you do? Well, I've got 3 simple tips that will help you maintain a strong mindset so you can leverage it as your greatest strength instead of having to deal with it as your biggest weakness. Number 1 is to get clear on your why. Your why is the reason you get up in the morning and work on your business. It's the reason you have this dream of being a freelance copywriting mama in the first place. If you keep your why in front of you, reminding you of how important it is, that will keep you going, even when challenges arise and your brain tries to tell you that you can't. Number 2, stare your limiting beliefs in the face and banish them. Things have a way of growing and seeming bigger and scarier than they really are when they're not addressed. But if you name those limiting beliefs and call them out, it shrinks them down to size and gives you a chance to replace those false beliefs with the truth. And number 3, please, please, please don't go it alone. Surround yourself with supportive people and connect with other freelance copywriting mamas who get what it's like to be you and do what you do. It's so important that I have a free online community full of freelance copywriting mamas called Wordy Mama on Facebook. If you're looking for a group of women just like you who want to grow their freelance copywriting businesses without sacrificing their family or their freedom, then click the link in the video description below to request to join. We'd love to have you. So what do you think? Were any of these things a surprise to you? Did it hit home? Give me a thumbs up if this video was helpful. Drop a comment below. Make sure you subscribe and smash that bell so you get notified when my videos go live.